Hey, this is Leviathan from Team Misplayed, and I played my Chaos Dragon deck in YCS Miami, and this is the deck that I top with. So I'm going to get right into the profile. Basically, I have the basic engine, 3 light Pulsar Dragons. This card probably won me most of my duels, a lot of my key duels. Very basic. My other favorite card is Darkflare Dragon. This card's effect is to discard one dragon monster. Discard one dragon monster from your deck to your graveyard, and banish one monster is a really good effect, and I don't think enough people take advantage of that enough. Next 3 cards, my favorite is Lila. I run 3, and this is one of my favorite cards to summon first turn. First turn Lila end, I get a mill, and it works if I have like Honest or something in hand, and a lot of people have trouble getting over it because it's at 1700. The next 3 is I run 3 Raikou. Pops one card in the field. You can use it for solar recharge. Next thing I have is 2 Thunder King. Obvious reasons, you can normal summon Thunder King first turn pass. Generally that stops a lot of big plays other players have, and they can't add to their hand, so they have a tough time getting over him. Plus he has 1900 attack. I run 2 Maxi for speed purposes. All they do is special summon, so I always have Maxi. Next thing is 2 Card Trooper. It's great for the milling, and it's great when it gets destroyed by battle. You can draw a card. And he's a 3-star, so you can go into your pixies like that. I also run 2 Valor. I use it for 2 reasons. One, obviously to negate effect monsters, but I also use its ability to synchro, so I don't think enough people take advantage of that second ability as much. 2 Trags. I'm actually a big fan of hand traps in this deck because you could sit on Trag for a couple turns and they can't get over him. A lot of monsters can't get over simple 2400 or when he goes to 3000 if you have 6 cards in hand. Also, I enjoy taking control of other people's monsters by using Trag's second effect and overlaying into a synchro with him. So I use Trag a lot, and one of my favorite cards. Another obvious engine, 2 Tour Guides, and I played with Sangan, but I'm actually going to take Sangan out once because he's banned for Tour Bus, and I'm going to have Night Assailant. I think Tour Buses will be really good for this deck because it can actually recycle a card that you might need in the future, like Honest or BLS, whatever you need at that moment. Boss monsters, starting with BLS. I don't think I need to explain him any further. Red Eyes, he's at 1. Very easy to get out, especially with this deck with Darkflare's effect. Dark Arm Dragon. I have Gores. Chaos Sorcerer. And those are my Chaos monsters right there. And one of my favorite cards that I love to play each duel, Honest. A lot of people don't see it coming, and it's a really big surprise if they attack into a Lila, drop Honest. It stops all their plays at that turn. They can't attack any more than that. And the last one is Eclipse Wyvern. He allows you to get your boss monsters, and I only run 2 targets. I only have Red Eyes, Darkness, and Dark Arm Dragon. I don't run any trap cards, so I actually have only magics in this deck. I run 2 recharges. I found having 3 was too cloggy, and it wasn't. I only have 6 Light Torrents in the deck, so it just sometimes having that extra recharge didn't really help at that moment. I run 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. I was running 3 before, but I feel that I can run 2 in the beginning and then either side 1 in based on the needs of the deck. And I already have 9 cards in my main deck starting to pop things on the field, so I'm not really too concerned about having 3 MSTs in my first duel. 1 Charge, and 3 staples, Reborn, Heavy, and Dark Hole. Okay, now for the extra deck, I started with Iron Chain Dragon. He's 2500 attack, and he's an easy synchro, so you can take you can take Darkflare and Valor and synchro right into him. And you can use him to banish for Red Eyes, or just have a good 2500 monster on the field. Black Rose, an underrated card. You could use him in different combos with Light Pulsar, bring Light Pulsar back, blow up the field. You can even bring him back with Red Eyes It's a really good card, and it's really easy to make, especially with Light Pulsar and Veiler. One of my favorite cards, Yugioh. I use him when I use Tour Guide, summon Night Assailant, Overlay. Get Yugioh detached, he's at 2100, and he's a light, so now you have light and dark targets in your grave, or if he gets destroyed, it's okay because you have light and dark targets in your grave. And he's at 21, and you can detach again, bringing him up to 2400. And since he's light, you could combo him with Honest. The next card is Tempo. This card's really, really good, especially with Fire Fist, because they overlay. You can summon Tempo, detach once, and your turn detach again. He's at 2700, and they lost 2 targets. So, I mean, they lost 2 materials. Leviathan Dragon, he's a good 3-star dragon. It's an easy way to get out Red Eyes if you have a Tour Guide in hand. Leviair, he's a really good card this format because you do all your banishing. You can do, like, use Honest twice. If you have Honest banish, you can bring him back, special summon, and then bring Honest back to hand and generally attack for game, and I use that play a lot. Queen Dragon, this card has got me a bunch of dual wins, and she's really, really good, especially if you combo with Trag properly. You could have Trag out, pitch a level 4, which I have 5 in my deck, and seal one of their monsters, overlay for Queen Dragon, detach your material, and go right into one of your boss monsters. Although the effect is negated and you can't attack that turn, you still can have out a Light Pulsar Dragon, whose effect activates in the graveyard anyway. This card's actually won me a lot of my duels. Doesn't ever hurt to have Utopia, so I have him in there. Papal Operative. This card I run to get over cards that that dragons have trouble with, such as Spirit Reaper. It targets it and destroys it. It also gives you the opportunity to put monsters in attack mode to go for game. Adrius and Tiris are level 5s. These are good cards for Dark Flare Dragon to go into, and depending on the situation when you want to use them. Photon Strike, you can go into him with 2 Light Pulsar Dragons, and he negates effects on the field, and your opponent will take 1000 life points if they do, and he's at 2700. It's a really good card all around. Next one is Inzektor Exabeetle, and you generally would combo him with Gaia Thundercharger to attack monsters in defense mode and deal piercing damage. A lot of monsters such as Marshmallow that we can't exactly get over, you can just deal piercing damage and go for game like that. The last card that I actually got for a Christmas present, and it is Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, and he's actually pretty easy to make since we have 3 level 10s in our decks, 2 Trags and 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and this is actually a good card to kind of go for game if your opponent's under 2000 or you just want to hit him for 2000. You can just detach the material and go for game. Other than that, this is the deck I used, and that's it for my profile.